Okay, welcome everybody. Slow day. It's gonna be some account reviews, some testings. Oh, here we go. Let's just jump straight into the game here. All right, it's gonna be some account reviews, some testings. We don't have much planned today. It's one account review, and then we're gonna go into Raiden testings, and whatnot. The thing is, I also need to record it. So I'm probably for the time where when we're testing Raiden, I'm probably just gonna hide my face and chat here, and we're gonna record it, and then we're gonna be making a video. I'll be making videos probably tomorrow, talking about exactly how I feel about the difference between C0, C1, C2. I already C6 my Sarah, so that's that. Okay. So for this particular account, the person has taken into attention with things that they want to for me to review. And as you guys can see, there's a ton of characters we have to go through. So let's just get right into it. This account has a decent amount of 5 stars. Easiest way is always for us to go here. Here, let's hide that. So here, we can look at all the 5 stars that they have. They don't have a lot of limited ones. I mean, they have a decent amount. They decided to skip on Raiden, it seems like. Let's see if they have gems. If not, then we can assume. Yeah, they're going to be skipping Raiden, it would seem. Uh, they have Kokomi, Hu Tao, Ganyu, Albedo, Zhongli. So they actually haven't really picked up a lot of the UA characters. And it's yeah, I mean not Leo, Inazuma characters, and it's to why am I clicking that? And it's to be expected. A lot of I mean, with exceptions to Raiden, I think a lot of Inazuma characters just haven't been a lot of people's preferred go-to as opposed to how they want to play the game. I think Ganyu Hu Tao are is still some of the more popular. Even Zhao, people are still very into Zhao. Even though characters like Ito are really strong, characters like Yoimiya are really capable of holding their own. People just don't have the tendency to lean on them as they already have consistent enough TPS, and it's evident with this account. They've chosen not to go with Ito, not to go with Yoimiya, not to go with Ayaka, and they don't even have Kazuha. So if I'm gonna guess, they might be going for Kazuha. Just seeing that, I don't know. They do have Venti, so maybe they're relying on the old guards. But with that said, we can take a look at this account in a little more detail and talk about what's going on and really figure out, right? What's what's the pro? And I feel like Kokomi is probably one of the focus here. I want to take a look at their Kokomi, their Hutao, Ganyu, of course, Tartaglia, and their Beto, and maybe even their Mona, and see what they've got going on with these characters. But first, let's start with Kokomi. I'm curious. Ah, C6. That makes sense. So this person decided to go all the way C6 to Kokomi, and it's not the first time we've been on their account, right? This is not the first time we've been on their account. We've seen this account before, and it's essentially a revisit to double back and see what they've done. So with Kokomi here, I'm assuming they have no. They chose not to get the donut for her. Hmm. Artifact is going to be the hued clam. And 813. Hydro damage. HP. Healing bonus, hydro, HP. So like a hybrid build, right? They're not going too far either way, but healing is definitely what you have to lean towards for Kokomi. So healing bonus for 15%. When the character equipped this artifact set heals a character in the party, a sea-dyed foam will appear for 3 seconds, accumulating the amount of HP recovered from healing, including overflow healing. At the end of the duration, the sea foam will explode, dealing damage to nearby opponents based on 90% of the accumulated healing. So this is what a lot of people are using for Kokomi to deal a little bit more damage, even though she oftentimes is left off field in the support position or healer position or hydro applicating position. This artifact is able to facilitate some sort of additional damage, because we all know damage is everything in this game, right? People don't care about anything. People don't care about things if they don't somehow deal decent damage for their respective roles. And Kokomi in the healer role with this set definitely deals an ample amount of damage. I wouldn't say amazing, but it's good enough, and it's definitely justified, more justified for reasons to bring certain healers into certain comps. Now let's look at the artifact substat. So HP percentage, got some energy recharge here, which is nice. Energy recharge, nice. Automatic mastery attack HP. Energy recharge. Substats. I'm looking at the substats because I'm curious as to what they've invested. So it's HP energy recharge. It seems like what they really want to go for. Here. What's their burst cost? At the top of my head, I don't even remember. 70. So it's not crazy. What's the 147? So are you able to cycle through her burst skill relatively? I wouldn't say like 100% uptime, but how quick does it usually take to cycle through her burst? Another reason why I ask this is because most Kokomi teams that she's in, I mean almost all Hydro teams, don't have more than one. People usually only run one Hydro, so she doesn't even have another character per se in the team usually to help with generating particles. So she's almost always generating it herself and just leeching off of the teammates that provide some benefits with off element particles. And of course, if you have any Favonius weapons in your team, like a Zhongli, which is very difficult, because why would you run Kokomi with Zhongli? It's just so excessive to the point where the team just falls apart at that point. You don't have enough supports and stuff to kind of facilitate with damage. So yeah, I'm curious as to what's the uptime on her burst skill.
Kokomi Miko Shenhei Zhongli amazing, and I don't have Kokomi leveled up or good artifacts. Coco Miko, those two alone is enough. I'm happy I got her.
Yeah, I mean, so Kokomi and Zhongli, I've tried running these two together in a team because Zhongli makes it so that like a lot of damage doesn't come through, with exception to, of course, anti-shield mechanics nowadays, which begs the point. If you're fighting a lot of enemies that have anti-shield mechanics, it's almost difficult for me to recommend running Zhongli against those enemies. It's almost better to just run Kokomi by herself and then facilitate Kokomi's existence with other characters, right? So I don't know what this person, Baga Jaeger, I remember this is the person's name. Let's see what teams that he has running for Kokomi. It's the Komon team. The Suko Komon team. There we go. Of course. Walnut, the Sukokomon Mon team has what was the elemental? I guess it doesn't really matter for uptime at this point. You're using your jellyfish, you're using your burst skill. Overall, it should, I don't know, it shouldn't be that big of a problem with uptime. With elemental skill, burst skill, refresh elemental skill, you get back another elemental skill by the time the first elemental skill cooldown is already done. You get another elemental skill. Her uptime it's all about her jellyfish uptime at this point. Burst is good, not that important when it comes to this particular team. Rotation is going to like running this particular team. Memorizing the frickin' 20-line rotation sequence is going to be more important than any other stat optimization you can do for this. Of course, stat optimization for these teams are also important, but for people running, if you're thinking about running this team, it's best to go start practicing the rotations, because if you don't know the rotations and you mess it up, somehow what ends up happening is everything kind of just stops. The synergies, the reactions, they all kind of just pauses, or you kind of skip certain reactions, which in this case would mean missing out on damage, right? So this is one of the main reasons I don't like playing this team, is because it's so mechanic. It feels very satisfying the first few times you're able to like click through the entire sequence of rotations for this particular team, but once you get that to that point, and once you do it a couple times, you start to feel like, wow, I really would want to be a little more flexible. I want to be able to do something else. I mean, no one's stopping you from being experimental with this team. It's just knowing that you're not going to get the max damage output if you mess up your inputs here. It just feels like you're locked in. Personally, I don't have anything against this team. I think people who run it, I think people who are interested in running it are definitely some of the more intense players, and it's commendable for people who want to run this team. And I know I'm kind of like overly complicating this team in a way. It's definitely one of the harder teams to play, but it doesn't need to be that complicated. Nobody needs to be playing the game like, you don't have to play this team with a fully like memorized rotation, but for people who are playing this team, usually they're like more tryhards, right? Let's be honest. If you want to play this team, oftentimes you saw the result of the team and you're like, oh, I want to try that. And if you even want to attempt it to get that result, of course you're in it for the result in some way, right? I'm just saying. So overall, I think it's a great team, but there are just easier teams to play that gives similar results. But it's commendable. Everybody should try it at least once. If you have Kokomi, you should try that team at least once. So the Kokomi is C6 built, and that explains a lot. All right, that explains a lot of why they don't have any other Inazuma characters. So let's see their Liyue carries. You know what? Let's take a look at their Liyue carries. Let's look at Ganyu. 52, 230, 239, which is really solid with a crowd damage bonus. Skyward Harp. Wanderer's Troop. Constellations, C1. And talent level 8. Let's look at the stats distribution you have here. Okay. Oh yeah, it's good. Overall, it's pretty good. 127 for energy. I mean, this Ganyu is gonna hit pretty hard. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Amos bow here. So this person has 2 Skyward Harp, 1 for Fischl, 1 for Ganyu. The one for Fischl is a little stronger, but it's fine. Overall, I don't have any issues with this Ganyu build. It's gonna get the job done, and I feel like with what this person has, 36 star in the Abyss should be still not a challenge. Couple retries, but shouldn't be a challenge, right? Once you have your account built to this degree, you should understand exactly where your strengths lie. So with that, let's take a look at the other pillar of power for this account here. 67, 229 with 112, which isn't too important for Hu Tao, to be honest. Pyro damage is 61.6. Got the Black Cliff Pole, so not a single 5-star weapon. So this person has really gone all in for, I believe they're like a lower spender. When I say lower, I mean like maybe between a couple $100 to $1,000. You can correct me, Jaeger, if you're comfortable, but usually smaller spenders, they prefer to go for characters, and it's really nice to see that they've invested vertically on their account as opposed to horizontally, having like, I don't know, like 10, 12, 15, 5-stars, but all of them are very average with a few exceptional ones, which eats up a lot of resources, right? So in this person's case, they've decided to go with a vertical build to scale up their already existing characters to be stronger. As you can see, C1, and what about Hu Tao? C1, right? Great choice overall, very smart. And I do urge all lower spenders, if you can only spend like from 100 to, let's say, $1,000. 1,000 I would still consider as a low spender in this case. Your average spender in this game would be, at this point, if you started spending back when the game released, your average spender would have probably passed, like, be around the $2,000 mark. That's what I would consider an average spender, right? Low spenders, probably between 100 and 1,000. If you're a low spender in this game, scaling your account vertically is going to be the best play overall for your account, both for your enjoyment, because you can only care and invest into a certain amount of characters before you just kind of get overwhelmed by everything. So with this Hu Tao, 67,229, very smart. Let's take a look at the artifacts. So they decided to go with the Crimson Witch set, which should show you this is like an old guard, right? This person didn't have the Shimenawa set when they first got Hu Tao, so they never really, I guess, had the option. They just went hard on the Pyro domain, and it shows here. You guys can see the artifacts. So smart with the HP Sands. That's the off piece was the Sands because they got an on piece Pyro Cup. And crit rate with, is that 5 rolls of crit damage or 4? 4, I think. Yeah, that's a 4 crit damage roll with an HP roll. Solid. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? But solid. The fact that the Black Cliff pole nowadays has been kind of relegated to being more of a stat stick as opposed to actually taking advantage of the skill, especially in Abyss. In the overworld, this weapon is still very powerful because it just stacks up a lot of attack. I mean, even though we keep saying Hu Tao scales off of HP, she can still benefit greatly from the attack bonuses. All right, she does have scaling based on attack. It's fine. So, but the stat of crit damage here is going to be what most people are after with this weapon, and it's evident because nowadays, even in Abyss, when you don't have any benefits from this, like fighting the what's that boss's name? Damn, what's that boss's name? What's that boss's name? The single target, like bosses such as the Magu Genki, right? Where are you gonna get that Black Cliff bonus? You're not. Oh, okay. He's chamber one. I'm just gonna. The Golden Wolf Lord. Damn, it took me a while. The Golden Wolf Lord, for these monsters, for these as well, these are kind of tricky because they don't even die. If you don't kill both of them at the same time, they just respawn. So the Black Cliff weapon doesn't get its bonuses, right? So in this particular case, they even have mechanics to counter the Black Cliff. I know Mahoyo or Hoyoverse did not on purposely. Let me bring chat back here. I know Hoyoverse didn't on purposely design them to counter Black Cliff weapons, but it just so happens that they have that mechanic that makes the Black Cliff weapons difficult to activate, which is a pain. And expect more Abysses to be like this. Expect more Abyss to have bigger bosses, bigger, badder bosses, because Mahoyo made a oopsie. They can never go back to making smaller monsters scattered around the room unless those monsters are unCCable by Venti. Because if Venti exists in the game, smaller mobs along with Venti, it's Morgana, right? It's the Morgana team. Smaller mobs will just forever till the end of time in this game become irrelevant. even if they make mobs that are immune to cryo, right? Let's say, okay, let's counter Morgana permanently. Let's make these mobs immune to cryo so Morgana doesn't work. Ganyu's burst cannot scale up for over 1,000% with like 63 icicles landing on the same spot, doing AoE damage per icicle. Let's just make that irrelevant. You still run into the problem that Venti's burst trivializes the content, right? Does it not? Venti's burst makes it so literally small mobs don't matter in this game anymore. They done messed up big time when they first designed that, because now they can never double back to designing small mobs. Unless they make A, they make them unCCable, or B, they make some sort of cryo immunity, which still doesn't solve the issue of you can just use Xiangling burst, you can use a ton of AoE burst to kind of make these things irrelevant. Yeah, like they kind of overdid it, I think. They overdid it, and it's really biting them in the ass right now. Evidently, in Abyss 12, a lot of people who play this game, this is one of the things people always want to turn a blind eye to, is the fact that this type of Abyss is going to be the norm until the end of time, unless MiHoYo wants to throw us a freebie. This type of Abyss 12, if 13 ever comes out, just expect more of this. Whatever this is, expect more of it. Difficult mobs to CC, unless you're playing Freeze, which, if you guys go look at the timeline, Freeze had its surge when Venti had its downfall. Like, it's almost inverse graph when it comes to their uprising and the downfall of these two comps, and it's evident because of the design. So going back to what we were talking about, which was Hu Tao, right? We're on Hu Tao. Characters like Hu Tao have been able to hold their ground, and it's great to see this person has built Hu Tao vertically with C1 constellations and running the Black Cliff pole. Overall, this weapon and the entire series has been relegated to being mostly a stat stick with some advantages here. But a lot of people argue, like, well, Walrus, that's not being fair. It's still really useful in the overworld. Look at all these weapons. I can run the Crescent Pike on Hu Tao and have it be useful in the overworld. You know what I mean? The overworld has long since become irrelevant when measuring whether a weapon is good or bad on a character. All weapons are good on a character in the overworld. There's not a single weapon that's bad in the overworld. I can run Dragon Spear on Hu Tao. It's fine. It's fine in the overworld. Nobody's going to have an issue with this. You're not going to be like, I can't beat content with my level 90 Hu Tao with C1 with my... Right? You're never going to say that. But if you take the Crescent Pike into the Spiral Abyss with Hu Tao at floor 12, and you're like, I can't 36 star the Abyss, why? We can point to the weapon. Hey, maybe try something else. But the Black Cliff pole right now is just a stat stick. Nobody's running the Black Cliff for the skill. I just want to hammer this home because a lot of free-to-play players and our early game players, they ask me, right, Walrus, what's up with the Black Cliff set? Is it still very good? And I always make sure to tell them, yes, it's good if you consider it a stat stick in the Abyss, right? Don't rely on this skill. And I'm sure anyone who can read and understand this knows that they're not really taking advantage of this in the Abyss. I'm not like out here sharing golden information, but I'm just telling you guys, there are people who are willing to go and argue with you saying Black Cliff's skill is still so amazing because you can use it in the overworld. Yes, we get it. All right, overworld, yes, very good, bueno. But in the Abyss, it's useless. But that said, we'll move on to another character. Let's take a look at their Beto, because I'm curious as to see what people are doing with their Betos nowadays. 68.7, 160 with 147.9. Decent ratios. Attack is 1608. Running the Serpent Spine. Not good. Oh, the emblem set. I was thinking you were going to be running like a 2-piece Thundering Fury and 2-piece Gladiator or 2-piece Shimenawa set. But running the full 4-piece emblem of Severed Fate. Electro and Attack. There's a decent amount of emphasis, it seems like, put on the uptime. It makes sense, right? I think a lot of people, when they look at Beto, there's a not a misconception. There is the idea of her counter strike, if you guys know what I mean. When people first think of Beto, it's almost never you think about her burst utility. You always think about, oh, that like counter strike that deals 400k damage, like whatever the hell people saw in the showcase. But honestly, I think Beto's biggest strength lies in the fact that her burst skill not only applies Electro very consistently, but also generates a shield. Yes, her burst does cost a whopping 80 energy, but overall, I think the value is more so in her burst for this character than it is in her elemental skill. And people will fight me till the end of time for this. There are some people who say Beto's entire existence hinges on her elemental skill, but I truly think her burst skill is where a lot of her value comes from, and when you put her into other teams, newer teams, the synergies usually almost always comes from her burst skill and not her elemental skill. That's just me. So it's good to see people are trying to prioritize the energy recharge stack for uptime, along with pairing her in double electro teams to take advantage of the resonance. It's good. Serpent Spine also still very good right now, and I think this character, to say she's underrated, she's not underrated, but she's definitely a character. She's not a top of many people's list. Let's just say that when it comes to 4 stars that people want to prioritize, and it's interesting for me to see this person has Beto built up so high, but they've chosen not to invest too hard into other rosters of Electro. I mean, they have Fischl and Kaching, but they don't have Sarah, do they? At least not built. Yeah. They have Sarah sitting at C0. I really think it'll be nice seeing this person going for a Raiden Shogun. But like if you want to pair Raiden with Beto, it doesn't work. They don't have synergies either. But the love for Electro is seen in this account. But I mean, I think I'm kind of projecting my own thoughts now onto this account, which isn't what I should be doing. But yeah, great to see they're building Beto, Kaching, and Fischl. You see, it's also evident to the current position that Electro is in, that a lot of these characters, that people who build these characters, they're almost never on the same team. It's rare for me to see people pairing Electros on the same team because people don't value the high voltage resonance. The Electros usually are prided on their high innate scaling and the stats as opposed to their team play. So Fischl is in this Supoko Kopon Mosu team is because of her Oz, right? It's not because of her no. It's not because of her normal attacks or her burst attack. It's simply because of Oz, and it's the case with a lot of Electro characters, with exceptions to Electro Charge. I know Electro Charge is what Electro has basically now been, I want to say, relegated to, because I think there's so much more potential with Electro, and just simply slapping them into Electro Charge teams as the Electro applicator is just so disrespectful. I don't know. I feel like Electro deserves more in the spotlight, just like Geo has, Anemo has, Hydro even has. But I guess if you guys think about it, Pyro is the main damage dealing element, and then Cryo is like a more supportive element, along with Hydro and Electro, right? I think Cryo, Hydro, Electro falls in the same category. Don't mistake it for ranking. Same category of like what the element is meant to do. They're more supportive, they're more in the background. And then we have Anemo and Geo, which are like the raw supports, because Cryo, Hydro, and Electro have ways to deal like good damage through powerful reaction, like the reaction damage. I know Anemo has Swirl, but Swirl is more of a more supportive way to deal damage. But I don't know. I think between Cryo, Hydro, and Electro, Cryo and Hydro just stick out so much more. So yeah, that's just my tangent on Electro, to be honest with you guys. This person also has built Mona. I said I wanted to take a look, and then we're going to take a look at Tartaglia. And then maybe Kaching. So their Mona is built for crit damage and high energy recharge here. They've decided to go with the new skin, which is cute. I think it's nice. It looks good on her, but I personally prefer the previous one. But that's just my personal preference. Favonius Codex. High priority on the energy recharge. Looking for that uptime, I'm imagining. And also, wasn't there something about her that scales? Was it? There it is, right? So yeah, there is something that she scales off of energy recharge, and it's in her second. I remember there was something that she scales off of energy recharge with. Increase Mona's hydro damage bonus by a degree of 20% of her energy recharge. So there's another reason for you to really go hard on her energy recharge. Um, damn, I'm not used to looking at this skin. I'm just staring at it. I don't know if this makes sense, but it looks like a cosplay of Mona. I don't know. She looks like she's wearing a cosplay of her original costume, and it doesn't look canon to me. Yeah. So the case with Mona is not only does she need burst uptime, the energy recharge also scales back into her hydro damage. So it's always a no-brainer to build some of it. But it also depends on yourself on how much you want to go, how hard you want to go for it. I remember she also scales with attack percentage, right? I might be tripping here. Makes them wet. And there's breaking bonus. Okay. I don't know where I read it before, but overall, it's people play Mona still for her burst skill, transferring that huge hit, right? Uh I can make an entire video talking about Mona's burst skill because it interacts very differently with different characters. Some characters are able to benefit from every one of them. For example, someone like Kaching, a good example actually. I didn't know this before, but I think about a year ago. I didn't know this for the first half a year this game came out, but someone told me that Kaching's burst is able to capitalize on every single hit for Mona's burst. What that means is Mona uses her burst skill, and then you see the omen applied, right? And then you switch to Kaching, you use Kaching's burst. Every single one of Kaching's burst every single hit will have additional damage applied, which is insane. And then of course the final strike will pop the omen. It's just stuff like this that makes Mona a lot more complicated than meets the eye. It's easy to and I think a lot of the early days of Genshin Impact, you guys saw Mona with people showcasing her through just vape, right? But now really she's proven herself to be more of a flexible character that synergizes a lot with different units than just the pyro characters, the one-shot wonders of Genshin Impact. But yeah, not everybody has her. And Favonius Codas, I'm surprised this person is going this hard on energy recharge, but because in most cases I've seen people run Mona with Thrilling Tales, right? I've even seen people suggest to run Mona with Prototype Amber in freeze teams, which also works. Her Omen works amazingly with freeze as well as a reaction. So for people who are curious, Mona can in fact be the sole Hydro in a team of only cryo units. So for example, Ayaka with Ganyu with Mona running the Prototype Amber for healing. So yes, Mona is going to be your budget, and it's going to be your budget Kokomi, but instead of running Kokomi and running Mona, here's the trade-off. You have much less hydro application, very limited hydro application, but if you're able to maximize what you have working with Mona, you're going to be hitting for much more. Enemies are going to be frozen for longer, and it's just like, imagine if Mona and Kokomi became one unit. That would be such an amazing unit, but Mona excels in areas that Kokomi doesn't, which you gotta commend Mihoyo for finding a way to still make these two units who shared similar elemental skills, right? They shine in different ways. And for Mona, both her burst skill and her elemental skill are decent hydro applicators, whereas Kokomi, only her elemental skill is a hydro applicator, but it's a very good hydro applicator. But I've seen it, people say play like Mona with like an R5 prototype Amber, and then she can also heal your team, which it works. Theory, it works, right? But this Mona is running a Favonius Codex, a level 40 out of 50. So I can believe if they say it's still a work in progress, because she very much is in the current state. Crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage. So they're really focusing on the crit damage part. Damage, energy recharge. Okay, no problem. No problem. I want to see their Kaching. 86 235. Does they have the weapon? Oh, okay, they got the Primordial Jade Cutter. Damn. 4-piece Shimenawa. Now, that's the first time I've seen people run this on Kaching. I have a couple issues with this, all right? I have a couple issues with this because I solemnly okay. Let's first see if you're building Electro Kaching or okay. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. Let me test something. I've never tried it, but if what I assume is correct, let's just go with this team. If what I assume is correct, then there's it's gonna really mess with one of her combos that I really love to use, and that's the EQE combo for Kaching. So if we're yeah, no, that's a deal breaker. All right, that's a deal breaker. Immediately for me, that's a deal breaker. Why? Because this basically trades off her ability to spam alt for basically trades off her EQE. How do I even explain this? This is so okay. So let's start from this. Kaching's elemental skill cooldown starts not when you take your elemental skill, but when you throw it out. So let's take a look. So focus on the bottom right, right? So you throw out her E, right? So even though you don't see the cooldown, it's ticking. And I'll take it, and there's around a 3.5 second cooldown from when I took the E, right? But if you look at this, I can do this as well. But that's a 7-second cooldown. Did you guys see that? So what happens is when people play Kaching, if you want to be smart and maximize your elemental infusion window, you throw your elemental skill and then you use your burst. So now she's zipping, and you finish your burst. Then you take the E, you do this, and then you run until the infusion runs out. And then you can do another E immediately after that, which extends your infusion window because you don't have your burst anyways. And you take advantage of a double infusion window for Kaching. This is really useful to when you have people like Sarah buffing Kaching. You just don't want to waste a single second. If you have any characters like Bennett, Sarah, any buffers that are buffing you, it's a much more fluid process. Just think about it like this: if you use your E, all right, you finish, and then you use your burst, and then you come back. You're still bursting, you come back and you're wasting precious seconds of her elemental skill cooldown, proper and fully cycling through Kaching's elemental skill, and her burst skill is going to be what differentiates like a good Kaching from a great Kaching. And I'm not saying this player is not a great Kaching player. I'm just saying by running this set, you are essentially foregoing like an entire combo for Kaching in exchange for much harder hitting charge attack, which of course is one of her staples. But if you're running like I don't know, I think Electro Kaching really heavily relies on her combos. And like people keep saying, Kaching combos, don't you just mean like this is Kaching combos, right? Kaching combos, Lamau, ha, Kaching. I mean, kind of disrespectful, but you know, Kaching is not always just about charge attacks. It's like 60-70% of her kit. I will give you that, right? Much like Hu Tao. It's just like Hu Tao. Oh, you play Hu Tao, so you must just be a charge attack bot, right? No, not quite. There's a lot of animation canceling with Hu Tao. all these charge attack characters in the game have ways to play around them and draw out more of their power. But I think this set kind of just seals the deal for that, at least. Like you simply can't use your burst. It'll never work, that combo. So okay, so Bagaga says do this Beidou skill into Kaching's skill into her burst. Beidou particles allow Kaching to get her burst backed up. That in theory can work, right? Of course. So that's the thing. There are play arounds, but it elevates the difficulty of the play style. And one moment I want to take a look at the high voltage. How does it work? Supercon overload and have a Wonder Band General Electro. So okay, here's another thing. If you do run high voltage and you are doing overload or electro charge in your team, so this team in particular has both electro charge and overload, so it will generate additional particles for Kaching, but only when she is on field is this relevant. So you would not only need Beidou's electro particles to fly to Kaching, but because of this particular combo, it starts with Kaching throwing her skill out and immediately bursting because the window is actually very tight. There's about a second to 1.5 second of error you can have when running this combo. Because look, and then you use a burst, boom, 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 bam. And actually, when Kaching finishes her burst skill, you can actually move her before the final strike comes out, or like roughly around when the final strike comes out. She can already move, so you can take your E even before your burst animation is completely done. So, she doesn't have any energy particles. I need to go into the abyss. So it's a very, very satisfying combo to run, and I've been doing it for the longest time. I actually don't see many people talking about it. What was the team? Tartaglia, was it? Bennett, Beidou. Go with this. So for example, like this. There you go. I got the energy particles. You guys see that? Kaching was able to move before even Beidou's burst finish. And then I can do this. Stuff like that. It's a combo that I know I'm not playing this team right. I just wanted to show Kaching. But it works, right? With Beidou's elemental skill generating the particles, you switch to Kaching, throw her E out, and then burst immediately once you get Beidou's particles. And then you still have enough time to take the E afterwards. And I also showed you guys, you're able to take Kaching's E, the second E, before her burst is even done. So before her final strike even comes out, Kaching can already move, and then the final strike comes out. So utilizing this kind of stuff, you can really maximize Kaching's damage. You can take it even more. I'd say a good Kaching versus a great Kaching, a great Kaching can probably ooze out 20% more damage from Kaching just through proper combo sequencing. And of course, tier list showcases for her damage output already takes into account proper playstyle. So yes, she's still definitely an underwhelming character in terms of damage as when she's Electro. Even a C4, C6 Kaching is fairly underwhelming when it comes to damage. It's just how it is. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It pains me. It really does pain me to say this, but she at best is like a B tier character. It sucks nowadays if we're just talking about damage, right? And I even say C tier. Like in most cases, if you're being very critical of her damage potential, even for some 4 stars can rival what she can do. Some. Of course, we're talking about C0. C6, 5 stars, you can't really compare her to 4 stars when she's C6. But as a C0 character, there's so many characters are just so much better. Like, for example, the amount of damage generally can output, let's say, even at C0 is just Because Jiangling is an off-field damager. Like, you use her burst and she's not even on the field. She doesn't. You don't need her to be on the field to do that much damage. And then you compare that to Kaching, who's on the field and having you play like you're a freaking Tekken player, still like falls in comparison. Feels bad, man. But great to see you built her. High voltage is almost a necessity for running this. It's fine. I guess now that we've seen Beidou can generate enough particles, especially since Beidou and her makes electro charge, which just helps so much with burst uptime for both of these characters. So overall, I would say pretty solid. Okay, let's take a look at let's take a look at your character rosters for future character acquisition. So here's the thing. When looking at this particular account, like I said earlier, I want to see Raiden on this account, but of course you don't have to have Raiden on this account. I was just kind of saying it for myself, because the Electro Dream still lives on somewhere in my heart, like a pure Electro team. Of course you can never have a pure Electro team because there's not a healer for them yet. One day though, one day it'll come, I know for sure. But right now I think Raiden is probably not as important as someone like Kazuha. So I've seen your carries are someone like Hu Tao, someone like Ganyu. Hu Tao doesn't need Kazuha as much, but Ganyu can definitely run Kazuha in some of her teams, not all of them. So for example, Ganyu, Kazuha, Kokomi, and Zhongli is one team. But better team is probably just gonna be her melt team with Xiangling. So Kazuha, it's you don't have any characters that really use Kazuha. Is also because you've prioritized a lot of Liyue characters. Kazuha works a lot better with other Inazuma characters like Ayaka, and Kazuha works with certain 4-stars. In some 4-star comms. He's also really good with Raiden Shogun, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this. There's almost no single character that can help you and benefit for you right now. You need at minimum 2 of characters, right? So for example, if you get Kazuha, then he opens up the possibility for you to get Raiden Shogun or Ayaka, and both of these characters are really, really solid. If you get Ayaka, which is also good because you have Kokomi already and you have Xingqiu, right? You have Xingqiu. Getting Ayaka is really nice. And then but then Ayaka with Ganyu with Kokomi, you also, then the 4th one is going to be either Kazuha or Shenhe, which, see, then you still need like 2 characters. Ito is a decent pickup. You can get Ito because you already have Zhongli and you have Albedo. But then with Ito, you also need Goro, right? And saying like you need, I guess Eula is the only single standalone carry you can get. People will say like, but you need Raiden. You don't need Raiden. Like, Raiden is a good pair for Eula, definitely, for sure. But Eula can definitely stand on her own. But yeah, I guess Zhao. But then that's just a preferential pick because I would never, if you're thinking of value, I would never tell someone to pick up Zhao until he has his artifact set. I wouldn't, because that's like telling someone to I don't know, I don't even have an analogy. It just feels like I'm scamming them, you know. But if you love him, you don't need me to tell you to pull for him. Overall, this account, vertically scaling, you've done a really good job with a lot of these Liyue characters. But if you want to start building for Inazuma, of course it's going to cost you a little more because you don't have any. I mean, you have like 1 5-star and you got Sayu, Sara, Yunjin. Not Yunjin. Yunjin's not Inazuma. Right? You have Sayu, you have Sara. But when it comes to 5-stars, a lot of Inazuma characters really prefer Inazuma characters. I guess Yoimiya is the only one you can pick up that really doesn't need additional characters. Yoimiya, I guess. But then Yoimiya also have issues, right? CN does have a point. Her current artifact set doesn't really lean into her strength, but you can always fall back on the Bolite set. The Bolite set gives her, I believe, 40% normal attack damage. I remember normal and charge, right? So pairing her with Zhongli, you can either pair her with Zhongli, Xingqiu, Bennett, and then you have a team. Yoimiya, Xingqiu, Bennett, Zhongli is a solid team overall. There are certain issues with that team, but I don't feel like going into them right now in detail. Mostly to do with how Yoimiya's auto attack pushes her backwards, and then Bennett's circle is very limiting. The limiting factor in that team, you guys might think like, oh, then Bennett's circle is a limiting factor. No, it's actually Zhongli. All right, but we're not going to get into that because that's for an entire different topic. Let's conclude this. Overall, I would say this account overall is solid. A little, this account is something you might see 5-6 months ago, this account. But nowadays it just feel like this account, I mean, you guys can see, right? This account itself proves it to you guys. 36 star the Abyss, no problem. What the hell are Inazuma characters? I don't know, don't care. Just play by what you guys are comfortable with. If you're comfortable with the Liyue characters, go with the Liyue characters. They're still more than capable of 36 starring the Abyss. Someone like Tartaglia, Mr. Worldwide, we always meme on them, but look at it like this, people. This person is using Tartaglia to hard carry a lot of rosters and synergies, and they don't even have 5-star weapons, right? Someone like an account like this really puts my account to shame. It's also because I haven't followed my own advice. I haven't scaled a lot of my characters vertically, whereas this person has, and it shows you the value of taking a couple characters, going really hard on them, and you can crush through any difficult content in any iteration that miHoYo decides to throw them at you. But really would like to see a little more diversity in this account. I guess it's only also for your own sanity reasons. If you keep playing and vertically scaling for another year, I can imagine it getting pretty dull, right? But yeah, overall, solid. I would say 6 out of 7 tusks. 6 out of 7 tusk rating. Very, very high. Very, very solid. I wanted to say 6 out of 9 for the memes, but that would be straight lying when valuing how good this account is. All right, people, that's gonna be that. Let's log out and log into my account because it's time to take a look at this Raiden Shogun. All right, I need to really focus on how, because I can only do this once. I was able to get 156,000 crit with a C6 Sara, which is good. So what's the problem? The problem is that I do have C3 Raiden now, but I haven't given her the constellations yet because I really want to push what a C0 Raiden is capable of, even with a C6 Sara. And of course, without a C6 Sara, I was hitting 102, 105k ish, somewhere around there. I was able to reach 100k without Sara. So let's jump into game here. So as you guys can see, I have C3 Raiden. I have not given it to her yet. My Sara needs to level up. All right, my Sara right now is running the Skyward Heart. She herself right now at level 60 Ascension 3 with these stats are able to hit for 48k in the Spiral Abyss, which is good. Respectable, right? Respectable damage. But I need to level her up. I just need one more Storm Beads, one more run of Storm Beads. So we're going to do that first. I hope you guys are excited. Let's bring chat back. Because I've been praising the power of C2 Raiden for a long time. And I know mathematically, right, both people online and myself, we've already ran the numbers. It's incredibly high value. But just how high of a value is there? I want to show you guys firsthand. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't done the comparison yet because I can't, because I don't have a C2 Raiden. How does it feel? Just die, please, please. No. Oh my god, did it dodge it? No. This boss is so annoying. Boss is so annoying. Look at that. Look at this thing. Look. Oh my god. Okay, last shot. There we go. All right. We'll use this one. We'll use this one. Primo gems are too high in value right now. Too high in value. And now we get 3, of course, of course. All right. So, let us head to the Spiral Abyss because we're going to be running a lot of runs here. Jason Leon is asking, I have C4 Raiden, but I don't know, should I pull for C6 or just go for other characters? I think C4 Raiden is more than enough. Her highest yield in value is around C2, C3. And going to C6, the additional 2 constellations, you can probably put it towards someone else. Dimaz ask Walrus, have you seen Apple's iPad Air 5 introduction? They played Genshin Impact. I have not. I have not. So I've been like running a ton of Raiden in here. I just want to see, right? Oh damn, I forgot to level up Sarah. What am I doing? All right, so let's go to the. There are a couple variations of the Sarah team. I've run her with. You guys will see. I've ran it like this, and I've also ran it like this. This of course gives me more damage, right? This is like the highest damage output potential. It is this variation, but I found that running Jiangling and this is also good. So let's go with the Kazuha one first. How about that? I think a lot of people are curious as to see what we're able to get. So the Kazuha one is this one. Let me see the stats. Yeah, around good. Man, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep escaping out? All right, so here, we're gonna Ascension. So get the additional stats. HP base attack increases. Attack is not increased, but we get bonuses from leveling her up. I believe we should. No. Who cares? So get a measly 20 something. Hey, it's worth. And you know that's gonna piss me off. 17.99. Yikes. 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. So now she's level 70. I'm not going to really bring her any higher because this is the star of the show today. Raiden Shogun 61.4, 137.0, 268.6. And electro damage is 114%. Attack is sitting at only 1844. But of course, if we do this, wait for it to pop, bam. And you get the buff to 2287. All right. And of course, Kazuha with the 4-piece Viridescence Shred. We're hoping to see the increase roll damage and decrease by 40%, right? So for Electro resistance, decrease by 40%, and hopefully that's gonna give us some great output. Now let me tell you guys, a big problem with this team is if you're not able to kill the enemies with Raiden, you're gonna have a really bad time. And you guys will see very soon what I mean by that. Especially in the floor 1 of the... Where is Sarah? Okay. Especially in the floor 1, because none of these other characters, like these 3, they're decent, but like they're not going to provide you an insane amount of damage output. So everybody's kind of just chilling when Raiden doesn't have her burst, or like when Raiden didn't kill the enemies. So I'll show you guys. So that's why I think C2 Raiden is going to help out a lot here. I'm just going to go with this. This one's like not consistent enough, I feel. So let's go with this, right? So we use elemental skill. We use the burst skill. We drop back with the E. Oh my god. All right, let's restart. I messed up. I should have used Kazuha's burst from the get-go. Okay, so it's Raiden elemental skill, Kazuha E, Kazuha burst, Bennett E, no, Bennett burst, switch to Sara, E back, Sara burst, and then switch to Raiden burst. Okay, there we go. E, elemental skill, burst, Bennett burst, Sara E back, Sara burst. She didn't get the buff, but it's okay. And then switch to Raiden, and then Raiden burst. That's 112. Which is fine, right? At this point. And here comes the annoying dudes. So you see, when Raiden's burst is gone, this is the problem, people. This is the problem. And then Kazuha burst. Can we get a Bennett burst? Yes, we can. Get a Bennett burst. Sara E. Explode. Damn, I exploded. And Raiden burst. I didn't get the Sara burst rotation. 108k. Oh my god. See, these wolves are so annoying. Raiden can almost miss out half of her infusion just from these wolves disappearing for like 2 seconds. And here's a severe issue with uptime. Having Kazuha does help a lot because Kazuha deals decent damage. Oh my god, I'm taking a huge risk. And right, I think I'm going to miss my ult here. Oh no, I got him. Okay. But overall, you guys see what I mean. Raiden requires, like, the window of her damage output is so important in this team comp. Like, if you miss her initial hit, for whatever reason, the wolves decided to take a drop back step. Oh my god. And I'm dead. But you guys get the point. You guys get the problem. Right? So here's the thing. I find overall that with Xiangling is you get an easier time, but then Xiangling also has her own issue, right? Xiangling has the issue of hitting all the enemies away because of overload. So for example, this loadout is also viable. What weapon is Xiangling running? I need to double check. Okay, Staff of Home. Alright, this loadout is also viable, but then this loadout runs into the problem of Xiangling's overload being very unpredictable, especially for Raiden. Again, you don't have this problem when Raiden hits hard enough, right? The initial hitting for 300, 400k worth of damage, that can bypass a lot of these issues. But a C0 Raiden right now is what I realized is you rely on the follow-up hits a lot, actually. So what ends up happening with this is, so you guys see, elemental skill, bam, 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 you see, and then everybody's already flying all over the place. And then Raiden, bam. There you go. That's the initial hit. And then you really have to be careful, follow through, and the enemy flies up, comes back down, elemental skill. Keep them grouped is what I'm saying. Like, you really be attentive of where they're getting blown off to and keep them grouped. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, these two are also a big problem because they get knocked back with the slightest nudge. The slightest nudge, they get knocked back. So keep them up against the wall. And you're going to have a much better... And you see, this guy's already, like, running out. So Raiden Shogun is not going to take full benefit from Bennett's burst circle if you want to also be hitting the enemies and regenning the particles for your team, right? So fighting these two wolves, like, in the corner here is going to be more important than anything you can do for this particular team. Always run back to this corner. 153k, you guys see, great damage output. It's pretty consistent, but both teams, roughly, when played properly, falls around this time, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I think you can probably shred off another 10, 15 seconds, but around 1 minute for the first half is what you're looking at, truly. So we're gonna leave. Yeah, Mandals AE, Kazuha Q, Bennett E, Sarah Q. Kazuha burst and then E, and then Bennett Q, Sarah Q, and then E, and then A. Try this. Okay, yeah, we can try that order. So, but that's the Kazuha and Sarah team, right? So let's go like this. So that's wait. Sarah. I like to put Sarah here because Sarah is the support DPS in this position. It's easier for me to keep track of. So okay, so the order is Raiden E to apply electro, Kazuha Q to swirl it, iridescence, right? And then he uses the elemental skill to pull them in. Bennett Q, and then Sarah Q, and then Sarah E. So kind of reverse the order, right? Use the burst and then elemental skill for both Sarah and Kazuha. So E, Q, pull them in. Bennett Q, Sarah Q, and then E, switch to Raiden, and then Q. 159, very solid. Solid. And then the wolves are out. I missed a little bit of the energy regeneration, which is fine. Let's run into the corner. Come here, boys. Very good. Let's do another round of Kazuha. Raiden E. Kazuha Q again. And then Bennett Q. Sarah E. Bursted. And then use Raiden's burst. Where the hell is the other wolf? Bro! I'm so sick of these wolves. Raiden E, Kazuha E, Bennett E, burst, Sarah burst. My lord, what is happening? And then switch right. I don't even know if I caught Bennett's burst. I don't even know what damage I did, but reapply the burst here. I have no idea what's going on. But as you guys can see, we're roughly ending up at around a similar time. Roughly. I definitely messed up some stuff midway through, and their HPs are not full. But you guys get the idea. The proper cycle, I think the burst first and then elemental skill rotation is definitely easier to use. So this is before we finally get down to testing. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm not going to be testing for the full room run because for consistency issues, it's going to be a big problem, right? If we want to get the full room clear for constellation comparison. We're comparing the damage output both for the normal and charge attack as well as for the whatchamacallit. For the normal attack, for the charge attack, as well as for the initial burst hit. So the two teams I want to be running is going to be this Xiangling team, right? Because not only does Xiangling give the elemental resonance for the fervent flames, which, you know, yeah, 25%. Can it be ignored? No, it cannot, right? It's a big freaking deal. So for example, look at Raiden's attack right now, right? It's 2080 with Sarah's burst. I mean, not burst, elemental skill is 25-24. So that's a 300 attack difference from the Kazuha team. But of course, the Kazuha team has the very distance threat. So I'm going to show you guys both of these teams, C0 and C6. So the proper rotation for both of these teams, I guess I'll use the burst first, then elemental skill. So for Xiangling, I'll also use her burst skill and then elemental skill. All right, chat? What constellation is my A at? That's C0. So everything you just saw, what I did is at C0. Now slowly, we're going to go to C1, and then we're going to go to C2, and finally we're going to go to C3. But the biggest difference is I want to highlight the difference between C0 and C2, because C1 is a utility constellation. So what this is like, it just gives you more resolve for when you use your character's burst. So it generates resolve faster, right? So, and of course, when electro characters use their elemental burst, the resolve gain is increased by 80%. When characters of other elemental types use the resolve gain is increased by 20%. It's not like insane, but it's very helpful. It's very helpful through her burst cycling to get max resolve without requiring the entire party's burst uptime. So, but C2 is where it's going to be at, and I know a lot of you guys are exactly curious, right? How big of a jump can you really get from C0 to C2? And I'll show you. All right, let's go in. So I'm going to take off chat and myself from here because I'm going to record the differences. So this is the first team. We're gonna go with the Xiangling team first, and we're gonna do it until we get the highest number that we can get, right? Xiangling Bennett, and then where is Sarah? Because this is as high as I can get these characters, and I've really been farming artifacts for quite a while, and I don't think in any time soon I'm gonna be getting more. So let's go. Elemental skill. I messed that up. Let's restart. And I think, will I have enough time for Bennett's burst? That's my question. Should I use Sarah's burst first? No, but then Sarah's buff won't make it. So Sarah has to be last. Sarah has to go before Raiden because Sarah's elemental skill, I think the buff lasts for like 6-7 seconds. So we need Sarah to go last. So then I guess it's like this. Drop Guoba. We're gonna have to get that back. Did I miss? So here's the thing with Electro Charge. Electro Charge blew all the enemies away. And even when Raiden is in her animations for pulling out her Booba sword, Xiangling's Pyronado is still spinning, right? So it's still constantly throwing enemies away. So let's try that again. First, drop this. We're going to need the chili pepper later. I guess Sarah can use this first and then use this. And we missed again. This is gonna take a while, chat. No, like for real, this is gonna take a while because elemental skill, Bennett's burst, Xiangling's burst, drop E, go this, burst, drop this, explode, and this time maybe, hopefully, please let me hit one. Okay, 143. Oh, we forgot to take the chili pepper. Damn. All right, let's try again. We forgot the chili pepper. So 150k is probably what you're looking at. Start by a side. Okay, so we can start on, let's go to the left side. Good idea. Let's go to this side. So elemental skill, burst skill, Xiangling's burst, and she drops Guoba here. All right, and then we'll use this. We'll drop this. We'll go to Raiden. Come on, Guoba, give me the thing, and then we'll hit this wolf. You're a target. Not even. Did we leave Bennett's burst? Did Sarah's burst expire? What happened? All right, let's try this again. This is what some C0 has to go through, right? Oh my god. This is the life of a C0 players. You're gonna have to run through a lot of this to get the perfect rotation down. Is it worth waiting for Guoba's chili pepper? And we lost Bennett's burst. That's why. So maybe Guoba's chili pepper is not worth it. So let's just not drop Guoba. Let's try this again. All right. So this time we're not going to drop Guoba. We're going straight into the rotation ASAP. So let's go to the left side. Let's drop Bennett. Let's drop Xiangling. Let's go into Sarah with her burst. Drop back step, drop, and then use the burst. 141k I saw on one, and normal attacks were hitting for like what was it, 10k, something like that, right? So now we need to finish this thing. Let's retry again, just to make sure. 143k, which is respectable. For a C0 Raiden is respectable. Go here. This. Where are the... Oh, there's one. 145k. I think that's roughly where we're looking at. One more time. Last attempt. I think 145k is going to be where my Raiden Shogun is going to be sitting at. All right? Let's try this one last time. Elemental skill, burst, burst, Fujosara, burst, drop back, switch to Raiden, and I didn't crit. I didn't crit. I think 145k was with overload, was it not? That's including overload, right? Damn. Again, 100k is it seems to be pretty consistent, which is still good. It's AOE, right? Up back. Want to see that 145k again. 143. So around 25k crit damage, 10 to 12k normal attack, and 143 or 145k. All right, chat. You guys saw that. That is what currently we done multiple tries. 145k was the highest we were able to reach. I just want to go in for the recording. I just want to make sure that I have this one recorded. Right? I just want to make sure I have this recorded. I'm going to title it C0 Raiden Xiangling BN and what's her name? Sarah. That is the benchmark to beat, right? I think the team we just ran is going to be the weakest out of all the teams that we're going to be showcasing. That's the weakest one. I'm expecting more. From this point on, it's only going to get higher. Because we're benching Xiangling, we're throwing in Kazuha. Where's Kazuha? I'm going to throw in Kazuha here. All right? So people, let's see, can we get higher than 143k? Chat, please comment. Do you think we're going to be higher or lower? Remember what we're losing out on. We're losing out on the 25% Haro bonus along with, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Higher or lower? I see higher. Higher. Someone says lower. So we're still using this, remember. The crit rate, crit damage one, it's pretty consistent. Higher for sure. The higher. So everybody's saying higher. So let's take a look. All right, we're using the burst first. So this one's easier because No. Not, that's not what I meant. 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 You guys know that's not what I meant. I meant using the burst first for Kazuha and Sarah. You guys know that's not what I meant. You guys... Okay. All right, let's go. Elemental skill, Kazuha burst. This is what I meant by burst first. Bennett burst, Sarah burst first, drop back step, and Raiden. What? Man, they died. They died. they died. Wait, no. Come on, man. I switched. What is this game doing? Am I doing it too fast? All right. How's what? There you go. Bring him in. Burst. Step back. And That was 140 something K. Retry. Retry. 140K. Right? You guys all saw that? Kazuha burst. Kazuha E. Sara burst. Step back. And 140K again. Very consistent, actually. Very consistent. So the other one was 145K. Try one round with only using E first. You're missing resolve. My Kazuha's EM is low. No, I'm not building EM Kazuha. I'm using crit rate, crit damage. So Kazuha is built for his own damage, not for EM. Let's go. I'm going to wait a little longer to make sure I get this buff. There we go. I got the buff. And I missed the burst. All right. I'm going to wait a little longer. So there are people saying this team should be higher. Let's try again. This time I'm going to wait a little longer to make sure I get the Sara buff. I might be rushing it. I might. So, Kazuha. Bennett. Sara burst. Step back and wait for the buff. Got the buff. And slash. 159. Hitting 17K. 159K. So I was doing it too fast. I was doing it too fast. Let's try again. Let's try it again. I was missing the Sara elemental skill buff because I'm an idiot. All right? Because I'm dumb like that. So Kazuha burst. Come back down. Burst. And burst. Drop back. Wait for it. And slash. 157K. Cleaning house fairly easily. It was around 17K charge attack. Right? Just to make sure we tried 3 times. We're going to try 3 times again here. All right? Just to make sure all errors are taken care of. The rotation has been secured like this. Kazuha burst. Suck in. Drop back. Burst. Sara burst. Drop. And the timing seems to be when they... I didn't even see how much I hit for. I think I saw 148, but I might be tripping. But that's going to be that. Let's leave for now. I got to go back, Chad. Was that a 148? Was that a 148 or was I tripping? No, I mean 158. I did 157. I already did 157. So I know 157 was as high as we got it previously. Let's see this one. What was this one? So everyone had dropped and... Oh, no. I saw 8. 8 was correct, but it was only 138K. Okay, so it wasn't. So, okay. 157K seems to be where it's at, right? Let's just all agree. 157K with Kazuha. Remember my Kazuha. I'll show you guys my Kazuha build. Yes, you guys are right. It's not for EM. I'm not building EM Kazuha. I haven't gotten around to farming like non-stop for so my Kazuha is built for raw like a Nemo damage. He's just his own. This is like C6 Kazuha, maybe. I believe C6 Kazuha is going for this stuff. I gotta go ask Flowcat to be honest. I don't know what Flowcat's building for his C6 Kazuha. But yeah, so yeah, I'm losing out on a lot for when it comes to EM. Look at here, right? Losing out on a lot over here. Yes, if I build Kazuha for raw EM, it's more damage. A lot more damage is going to feel a lot better. But since we're using a full baseline, at least it's going to be consistent as I start giving my Raiden constellations. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what to expect from this monstrosity going forward, but let's try C1. You guys ready? Are you guys ready for C1? I'm going to take a look at the video here. Make sure I recorded it. So there are people saying this team should be higher. Let's try again. This time I'm going to wait a little longer to... Okay, so I think I got all of my runs for... Okay, for the Kazuha team, I got it. I got the recording. C0... Raiden Kazuha. Let's just say that. C0 Raiden Kazuha. Alright. Chat. Let's do this. C1 Raiden, let's see if it changes anything. Let's see if it changes anything. Alright? I think it might, because it should give us max resolve every time now. So let's start with the Kazuha team just because we're here. Raiden, Sarah, Bennett, and Kazuha. It should give us a higher ceiling here, simply because of resolve. That's it. All right, let's try again. I'm not recording. All right, 156. So no difference there. That means we had full resolve before. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I never checked because for reasons. I've never checked if I had full resolve. I just did the best I could for the damage rotation, right? So 156k, that's not even as high. So you guys see, there's no difference right now because we probably had max resolve prior. And I feel bad for these wolves. 177. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So we're hitting for 32k. Now, we hit for 22 and 32k for charge attacks because of resolve, right? Let's try again. Never mind. Apparently we didn't have max resolve before. Apparently not. We'll try one more time. Maybe I did it too fast again, right? Sarah backstep. I think I got the buff. I think I didn't crit or something. Try again. Okay, let's go again. Hope I get Sarah's burst back before. So, Sarah burst. And Raiden burst. 177k seems to be consistent. And 32k crit. It's because of resolve buffing, right? It's resolve buffing is very important here. Okay. And that's the C1 Kazuha team. Let's go back to Xiangling team. Let's go back to the Xiangling team and see what's up. Because it's important. It's important to see how much we're gaining here. And Bennett and Sarah. So this is the team we're going to try again. I'm excited for C2. Let's be honest. Who's not excited for their C2 Raiden? If you have one, you're excited. Oh, wrong one. Xiangling, Bennett, and Sarah, right? So do you guys think we're going to get a bigger bonus here? It's simply because of resolve? Probably, right? Board this. Let's go. Burst, burst, and Sarah burst, and burst. What was that? I didn't see. I think it was 27k. Was it? For charge attack? That's why we retry. I didn't see. I honestly didn't see. Let's try again. Elemental skill, burst skill, Jiangling burst, Sara burst, and drop back. Get the buff. And give me that big slash. I missed. I missed because they were too far away. Great. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, Overload. Just what I needed. That's why everybody loves you, Overload. Okay. Let's go. Again. Jiangling burst. Sara burst. Drop back. And this time for sure. 100 and... Was that 112? Around 20 to 22k for charge attack. Normal attacks around still the same. We'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. See if we can break through the 112k. 119 was it? It seems to be consistently like 24k crit for charge attacks, was it? It seems to be relatively consistent at this point. Like, what was that one this time? I'm gonna have to go look at the recording because I see 119 people. Is it 119 again? $119. So it's consistent. At least it's consistent. And charge attacks is ranging from 20 to 22k on the high end I've seen. Okay. So that's the Xiangling team. Was that 149k? I must be intoxicated or something. Thank you. So 119, 149, 119. So we're able to hit up to 149k. So now, what about C2? You guys want to see my Raiden artifacts? Sure. 61, 137, 268.6, 114 electro damage, and that's from her. A lot of that is from her talent too. Running the R1 engulfing lightning artifact.
Sanzu River just made it rain. The Electro Rift Hounds aren't the best for testing Electro DMG.
I know, but actually,
Chiki, Shukai, just made it rain. Emblem 4% wear. And also, can you take a quick look at your DMs?
emblem for emblem. Oh, that's like the Steinfeld's moment, right? That's this. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Or what's that? What's that other one that people have that people always like, oh my god. Oh! Oh my god. I was missing out on so much damage. So much damage. Oh, I can't. Where's the portable? Oh, give it to me, baby. If we want a more respectable boss, I guess we can always go to the Primo Geovishap. But then like I guess this makes sense because it's the overworld, right? And oh damn. Let's place the portal first. Let's go place the portal first. If we want to do this right, we have to go place the portal. So that we can get back consistently to this guy. Well, it's a C1 to C3 comparison now. Rip. Walrus, check your Discord. One moment. Let me just go place let me go place this. Oh! Alright, let me go check my Discord. What's going on? Alright. Okay. Alright. Shukai, I've received your message. And a spam message. Okay. Alright, I got the DMs. Now, let's see what Raiden is capable of when running the right artifacts. Large Man says, Walrus, while checking Discord, my account details are there. Alright. We'll go into Large Banana's account review right after this. So, this is mold inducing. This is like I'm shaking right now. Imagine if the dude didn't ask for your artifact stats. Dude, I don't want to imagine that. Can you imagine like spending I was about to spend a good 4 hours on this video. I was about to spend a good 4 hours on this video. Oh my lord. Like, this is why I think artifact preset is such a big deal. Like, just... Where is it? Oh. There we go. We got a portable. Do we need a portable one? Let's just charge some energy particles. Particles. Yeah, this is gonna take way too long. We'll go to our good friend over here again. Charge some energy particles. Low. Particles. Okay. Oh, wow. Don't whack me. We got the particles. Let's heal up a little bit, and then we'll go. Now, I think her... Yeah, now Xiangling's artifacts are messed up. But whatever. Alright, at least Raiden is not. This is not a Xiangling showcase, it's a Raiden showcase. So everything is set, ready to go for Raiden Shogun. Let's go back to our portable waypoint. Alright, chat. C1 Raiden. Let's see what we're working with in the overworld. gosh. Okay, so my resolve is full. Step back. Explode. There we go. 157k in the overworld. Oh, no, 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 no. This thing's gonna die. This thing can't handle it. Okay, so I also did a normal charge attack afterwards, but I couldn't look at it at the time. So how much was my normal and charge attack doing? Let's see. So it was 157k. So normal charge attack was around 29k. Holy smokes, man. Smokes. No. No, please. All right, I'm just gonna preface this in the video because there's no point in lying, right? There's no point in lying to people saying like, oh, I see C1. I'm just gonna say, hey, I messed up. All right, I C1 in my Raiden, but just C1 doesn't give you any additional damage. So just I got C1 because I wanted to make sure that my resolve was always full, so I can show you guys what a full resolve Raiden burst look like to get rid of inconsistencies. Huh? Huh? All right. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. All right. So I'm gonna go back because I messed up the rotation last time. I feel like. Come on, buddy. Burst, 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 explode, and didn't crit. Didn't crit. Didn't crit. Ha 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 ha. Oh boy, this is the particles, baby. I mean, I'm starting to getting good at dodging this thing. All right, we got it. We is out. All right. A burst. We don't need Sorrow's burst. Nobody cares. I mean, people care, but go, go. I guess go. Do I have? Oh wait, I do care. Wait, I do care. Wait, I do care. Where's my result? I do care. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Hello, it's me. This is so sad, bro. And if I die now, right, right, of course, of course. Oh! I only hit for 70k with Crown Burst. Uh, but okay, I do have C6 Sarah, so that. Okay, I have max resolve, right? I have max resolve this time, so it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. I have full resolve. Now I just need, don't forget Sarah's buff. Okay, there we go. 165k with 30k charge attacks. Oh, wait. Why am I going all the way? Okay. Record that, chat. Record that. That was big. That was big. The big deeps. Oh my goodness, that. I get the burst. Get the burst. Get the burst this time. I think I got it. Xiangling? Xiangling girl? You got it? Ah, we got it. Okay. Let's go back. Alright. So Xiangling's burst is ready for next time, but right now we need to look at Kazuha's team because you know what? I'm just gonna make 2 teams. Let's change this team to Raiden, Sarah, Bennett, and Kazuha. And we'll just deploy this team. Oh, you're kidding me. No. Will I have enough resolve? I think I will. Just in case, just in case. Alright. So, Raiden, Kazuha. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, there we go. We got the buff. 140k? Let's just finish Raiden's attack string so to get some much needed energy for my team. Okay. There we go. 140k, chat. Did I do something wrong? Was my resolve full? It was, right? My resolve was full. What was the problem? No. I probably missed the buff again. Or my resolve wasn't full. One of those. I missed our buff. Okay, yeah. Dude! Okay, I'm gonna have to kill this freaking flower. I'm so sick of this thing, man. Dude, what the fuck is your problem? Just trying to record a freaking video, bro. Jesus Christ, man. I've been ignoring that thing for the whole time and it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. All right. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. We'll go back again. Okay. Okay. Let's go for this one. Come on. Azuha. Bennett. Sarah. Back. Come on, pop. There we go. Got it this time. 200k. There we go. 200k. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. But I need to get every last bit of energy. 200k. Solid. Solid. There we go. Frickin' flower. Yeah, that's what I thought. Give me your shit. Okay, so 200k with C6 Sarah seems to be very reasonable. For like, this is what C0 can achieve with a C6 Sarah, right? All right, let's go back. Now it's time for C2. I'm a little worried. No, I really am. I am. And I'm not capping here because I think this thing might not make it through my entire Raiden burst. But behold. C2. So now my Raiden is at C2. Stats 61, 130.8, 268.6, 114. 4-piece emblem. All right. Behold, chat. Let's see what we can get. So from 201k, what's the jump here? No! 289. Now, was that with all the buff or without all the buff? Because I got knocked out of the circle. I'm a little paranoid. So I'm going to try again. But 60%. Defense ignore. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much defense that thing has. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have a target damage threshold I'm looking for. I'm just trying to see. I'm curious, man. What am I looking at? What am I going for this at this point? All right. Sarah will get her burst, so don't worry. 1, 2, 3. Step back and pop. Bro! 289. So I did do it right. 53k. Oh, wait. Whoa. Yeah. This thing can't handle it. I'm gonna try one more time. But last time. But I think 280k is roughly where it's sitting at, right? Which is good. I think, and the charge attack is now 52k, was it? So this is like overworld, right? Like no abyss buffs, nothing. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. Let's head back. All right, let's do Raiden, Azuha, Bennett, Sarah, the back, and Raiden pop, and it did not crit. It did not crit. Come on, man. Like this. New mail. What's the occasion, Mahoyo? Here to laugh at me again? For messing up my artifacts? Alright, come on. Come on. This time. This time has to be it, right? Go. And go. And go. What am I? Wait, Sarah died. You're kidding me. I waited too long and she died. We might just have to take the 289. at this point. Bro, I'm about to use this to just keep my. I think the time it takes Bennett to get his burst back, everybody can get their burst back twice. Oh, I should have held back a bit. Well, there goes our energy bot. Kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie. You know, doesn't have to do it the old-fashioned way, right? Just wait for it to come back for everybody. Our resolve is almost max, so I guess like this. Kazuha. Bennett. Alright, that popped. Oh! Oh, bro, no, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't. Hold up. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll work on these guys. Whatever we can get our hands on now, people. Right? These are tough times. Chill. I think we got it. Right? Got it. Got the particle? You know what? I'll leave this one alive. Wait, did he die? He died. Did that thing die? Alright, let's go. How hard can it be? There we go. 289. I'm about to bust a vein in my head right now. Ha. Yeah, that thing died. There's a Sissant mage up there. Someone says, Walrus, use the level 59 Viridescence domain. You get ER there pretty fast and crit food to save yourself some retries. Oh. But like we already had the baseline from here. We have to continue to beat the crap out of this thing. Dude, at this point, it's personal, man. I will get that crit if it's the last thing I do. Bring it, bitch. 289. Okay. So after all that, we were able to confirm that our initial hit was indeed accurate. That's all I wanted to know. All right, that's all I wanted. Now, I'm going to do C3 in the video, but I will try out this team. Is there anything for me to whack over here? With C3, I believe we should be looking upwards of what? C3. 400k? Maybe not that high. 360? 350k? Yeah. Yeah, if my Kazuha was full EM, probably C2 can get me to 400k, and C3 can get me close upwards of, I don't know, 500k maybe, right? And that's just C3. Too scared to use Raiden right now. I don't want to die. Got Raiden's burst. Sara's burst is coming along fine. Okay. So this is going to be the last demonstration I do here, and then we're going to go take a look at Large Banana's account. 289k at C2 from... What was C1 again? I forgot what C1 was. But it's... I think it was 201k. So it's an 89k damage boost from a 60% defense shred, essentially. Sara is C6, yes. And we're going to get the chili pepper here. I'll watch this chat. Come on, please. Just let me... And of course it didn't crit, because it would be too freaking easy if it just crit and let me leave. So of course it didn't crit. Maybe we can go bully the Regisvine a little bit here. It would be so naive of me to imagine. I swear, I think I have like 30% crit. It does not feel like 60% crit. That is bullshit. Like you guys can tell, like, how many times did we try this stuff and how many times did it crit? It's 60%. That's a lie, and Mihoyo knows it. Come on, let me whack you a couple more times. There we go. Got it. And we're out. Thank you, Regisvine. We're going to the other side of the world. We're gonna go and whack this thing. Wake up. Alright. Let's go. Let's drop her E. And then her burst. And then her burst. Drop back. Where's the frickin' stick? 231! Okay. Impressive. And that's going to be that. Okay. So, 231k versus 289k, as you guys see, it's starting to scale up pretty high. The difference between shred percentage, like viridescence, versus just raw damage, like attack percentage buffing with the double pyro. So Kazuha is definitely the way to go. More EM, more damage. That's just the way of life at this point. So the next step is going to be having to farm a lot of the viridescence domain. I'm not looking forward to it. I much prefer farm the emblem of severed fate. That's really what I would prefer. Now let's bring everybody back on screen because we're done with recording. That was quite the journey, to be honest. And now headed to another journey is Large Banana. This person has been playing the game for a very long time. Large Banana, where are you at? If you guys have been attentive to live streams, you would know Large Banana has been here for the majority of time. And in fact, I would say Large Banana probably has been here on this channel the longest out of everybody, I would say. He's the oldest person still involved in the channel. Now, we're gonna have to get this person to verify their account information before I can log in. So we'll do that right now. So this person obviously has been playing since day one. He's ancient. He's truly ancient. So we're gonna see exactly what their account has developed into over like almost 2 years, like 1.5 year of playing this game. Let's take a look. And Large Banana, would you share in chat if you are a free to play? So let's see. Is this person a free to play, a small spender? What is going on? I'm sure you guys are curious because I'm really curious. I've known this person for over 1.5 years, one of my earliest and oldest subscribers when it comes to Genshin Impact. Truly, what does this account have to offer us? I'd be lying if I said I'm not at least a little bit curious. How's their abyss going? What characters have they invested in? Who's their waifu? Let's take a look. All right, I think I just got in. So I'm not free to play. I spent $20 in the account, but this account has been invested by many people. And I logged into the wrong region. What a great start. All right, let's go in. I think I got it right this time. Okay, I got it right this time. And they're sitting in Dragonspine. It's kind of troll. Why would you bring your waifus to Dragonspine? It's not romantic. All right, so AR58, as expected of a man who's been playing this game for a long time. Forever grateful to Josh and Marin. Me too. Let's take a look. So this is the account. This account has fewer characters than I would expect, but as they mentioned, they're not a spender. They've spent around $20, and a couple people have, played this account. So I guess it's like a community shared account, maybe among friends. And I see Raiden Shogun, Ayaka, and Hu Tao are all here and available. Tartaglia, Zhongli, Venti, Diluc, Jean, Kaching, Mona, Chi-Chi, and that's it. And Zhao, of course. And that's it for 5 stars. I'm curious as to what they've invested into exactly. Weapons, right? Characters, constellations. What's going on? This Raiden Shogun is sitting at 56.7, 147, 251, 60% electro damage. So they're not running energy regen at all for Cup or for their Sands. 2, 6, 7, 8. What weapon are they running? Which is the Engulfing Lightning, and they're definitely running an attack percentage Sands. I'm guessing probably... Yeah, so there you go. Attack percentage Sands. Oh. So that's how it is. They've gone with the double attack for both Sands and the Goblet. Interesting. Let's take a look at the stats here. 0.9, 7.8. 20.2. So a lot of energy recharge, as you guys can see. Energy recharge, energy recharge, energy recharge on every single piece. That's a lot of energy recharge. And nothing on here, but that's yet again another 4 times rolled into crit damage. Absolutely insane over here. Well, overall, I would say this is gonna hit harder than what I was showcasing for sure. Because this person somehow is also able to balance energy recharge at a rate where it's still very, very potent and powerful versus the insanely high attack percentage that they've able to garner. And remember, people, like I said in the video, it's all about balance. And this person has done a great job balancing not only attack, crit rate, crit damage, but also energy recharge. They've not forsaken this stat completely, and it's still very present here. And they've got very good electro damage just from the energy recharge alone, as you guys can see. 60%, that's pretty much like a free electro cup for you, right? So, people, you can learn a lot from these kind of account reviews. This person knows what they're doing, and they've got a really, really good Raiden Shogun, especially with Engulfing Lightning as well. So Sarah is also C6. So as you guys can see here, 47, 128, 138, and electro damage bonus. So are they building Sarah for DPS? Ali Hunter, yes, they are. And also a good balance of team buffing, so attack as well. Do they have Kazuha? No. So that's probably what this account is hunting for next. I'm going to guess they're hunting for Kazuha. Also C3 Raiden, so definitely, right? Hunting for Kazuha. I wonder if your Sucrose is built for... Yeah, so this person has Kazuha stuff already farmed. And it's on Sucrose. This is, let's take a look here. So 841, pretty high, very, very, very good. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for this account. So yeah, when they burst, you get 30% from Engulfing Lightning. Yeah, so it's 280. So yeah, 260 is probably what most people with Engulfing Lightning is going to stop at. That's roughly where I'm stopping at as well. But my problem is that I cannot switch out my sands yet, because if I switch out my sands, I would have to make up for it in energy recharge elsewhere, right? So it doesn't make any sense for me to switch out my sands. Well, let's take a look at their Ayaka. 55, 224, 120, 61.6. Okay. Wow. Okay, this one definitely could use a bit of work on it, but this one, that's like the god piece, right? When it comes to rolls, of course, you would wish more went into crit damage and maybe a little less went into energy recharge, but you don't complain when you get energy recharge on your Ayaka. Attack, okay, good. Oh, impressive. Ah. So you got the Primordial Jade Cutter on Ayaka. That probably, unless you... Wait, let me see what other swords you have. This... Yeah, this is like your best in slot, essentially, for her. Completely fine, no problem. Yeah. Solid character stats overall. I would say for crit rate, you are a little bit overstacked. Just a tad, maybe around like 30-40% would have been enough, but I understand it's not your choice to like, hey, if we can choose exactly how much we get every time, I understand. But you know, solid overall, but you're hitting for like 95%, right? Once you get the you're hitting 95% crit rate with the Blizzard Strayer. And I'm assuming you're playing Freeze Ayaka. I'm assuming. But yeah, you're going to be hitting 95% crit rate, which is very consistent for damage. But then again, 40-30% will do. Don't need this much, right? So look at your Tartaglia. Actually, let's take a look at your Hu Tao, because... Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Is that Staff of Homa or what's going on? Oh, Death Match. So stat wise, very impressive stats, but you're missing out on a lot of hidden stats. Well, not I guess not hidden stats, but just the effects from let's say if you were to have a Staff of Homa, of course that would be better. But you know, we're not complaining here. And of course the Shimenawa set, because obviously you spend a lot on Raiden, and as a byproduct you would have got a lot of Shimenawa pieces. And if we're gonna compare Shimenawa with Crimson Witch, yeah, you know, Crimson Witch is nice, but Shimenawa just gives you that that extra hit. But personally, I would still prefer the Pyro set. But of course, it's because most people don't have enough quality of the Pyro domain. Nobody, like no one I've ever spoken with, have ever enjoyed the process of farming for this particular set, and I understand. I get it. All right, I get it. And so it makes sense. Everybody would prefer to go for the Shimenawas. What are the feather? Crit damage, crit rate. Oh, yeah, good. HP. Wow, look at that. At the Grand Slam. Is that the Grand Slam of all Grand Slams? 34.2% crit damage. Try, yeah, like just try replacing this piece, people. Like imagine trying to replace this piece. My lord. You got the pyro damage somehow from the Thunder Soother set. So you can tell, okay, chat. How do you tell if somebody's really OG in this game? Is if they have like off pieces running with like from the Electro domain. No one farms this domain nowadays, people. No one in their right minds will ever touch this domain. This is literally like a walking medal of showcasing people you are an OG player. I have an electro damage. No, I have a physical damage cup from the Thunder Fury set. Like, no one touches this domain ever. And yet this person has a nearly perfect pyro damage cup. That's a medal, if any, to showcase people how long you've been playing this game. You are an OG. You truly are. Crit damage, energy recharge, crit rate 12.1. Solid. Overall, pretty good. All right, pretty good. Your Zhao. Do you have Liyue Big 3? You're missing Ganyu. Okay. Okay. Here's your Inazuma Ganyu. So, fine. Take a look at your Zhao. 88, 165. Damn. What's it the high crit rate? Wait. Sanzu, you're like the only Giga Whale who spends an absurd amount of resource farming that domain. I guess it's just to incrementally increase for your Kaching.
Sanzu River less than crazy person who still farms Midsummer Courtyard.
I think that domain has its charms, but I haven't touched that domain in like over a year. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This Zhao is lacking a bit of crit damage. And it's cool to see all three of them have crit damage here. You're missing a little bit over here, and this one's already a crit damage. So you're like pretty much already there. I like 180 to 200% is going to be very comfortable, but like, of course, yet again, Walrus, like, oh, Walrus, thanks for sharing. More crit damage equals good damage. Yes, thank you so much. Like, big value, but I'm just saying, I don't even know how you would go about to do this because it's just RNG at this point. You've done everything you could to maximize crit damage. I mean, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. Like 88, 165, you're hitting like a truck already. Very consistent, very strong character overall. Your Zhao is looking fine, right? With the primordial PJWS, that's what people call this, right? Your attack is going to be very, very good as you continue attacking. It's just going to get better and better, right? You get an additional 21% attack bonus through this. I wish I would have this, but I don't have this. And of course, while in possession of the maximum possible stack, you get an additional 12% damage. So overall, very, very good and consistent damage output for your Zhao. 2-piece Shimenawa, you hate to see it. You would love to see another 2-piece Viridescence, but don't farm that right now. I don't know if the leakers know what's going on, but is there a new artifact set for Zhao coming in 2.6? I don't know. What is my cat doing? Oh, I thought she was doing something else. So it's fine. I wouldn't lose sleep over this, but yeah, just wait. Don't farm for any Zhao artifacts. Copium lives on. Alright, Copium lives on. Let's take a look at your Tartaglia. D1, 112. What weapon is he running? Rust. It's 56, 162. Attack is 1868. I mean, overall, it's okay. I mean, you're getting a lot of additional help from this. From the stat here, and of course it's refinement 5, so he's going to hit really, really hard. That's no doubt. Take a look at his. But I'm really curious as to see how you're running this Tartaglia. Are you running him in Electrocharge teams? Firework? I mean, I guess this stat, he works in all those teams. It's not like he's restricted in any way. It's just looking at what you got going on here. I guess you have Fischl as well. So official build for Tartaglia, potential Tartaglia team comms. Do you have your Beidou build as well? Yeah, your Beidou is also built. So yeah, your Tartaglia is very flexible in this case. I guess that's pretty much all. Is there anything else you would want me to take a look at in particular? Ayato can use Tartaglia God set immediately. I don't know, man. I don't know what Ayato does. No, I actually don't know. Okay. I know I said it like I'm selling this thing that I don't know what he means, but I actually know what he does, but I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. But if Ayato is going to be able to utilize this Heart of Depth piece, it would lead me to think that he also has some sort of elemental infusion through his elemental skill. All right? So, I don't know. I would hope that it's an elemental skill that gives him the infusion. But then again, would he be too similar to Tartaglia? Who knows? Okay, so large balance is okay. So my question: who do you think I should go next? Kazuha, Ayato, Worth? Should I keep farming emblem for Raiden even more? At this point, after looking at your Raiden, I don't think you should go for any more emblem. Like, look at this. Look at this. Where realistically, where are you going to get the biggest boost? It's probably from the cup, right? This is where you're gonna get the most boost. You're gonna, like, if you want to farm a better cup with some more crit rate to have more consistencies in your output, and maybe get a luckier, like, right? Think about it. How much more can you push these artifacts? Chat, you can take a look at this too. I guess this one could be better. But then again, you're always exchanging value here. Because then you're going to be cutting away from crit rate to give it a crit damage. Is that worth it for you? 3% for 7? You're losing something at this point. Like in a lot of these artifact set pieces, if you're going to switch these, you're losing something. Because crit rate, energy recharge, crit damage, how are you going to reallocate the stats? Maybe you're like, okay, maybe this HP can be, an attack percent. Yeah, I could. It's like 5% attack for like 5,000 resin. It's not worth it anymore. This cup is the only thing, like switching out that HP percentage roll for an additional crit damage roll and switching out the other HP percent roll for a crit rate roll, which is like 3% and 7%. So you can gain 7% crit damage, which brings you to 154, probably another crit damage roll to 1 60, right? 160 crit damage, you can gain like 6% here. 62. 62, 160. Solid stats. But is it worth like 15k resin? Maybe 20k resin for minuscule increases. So honestly, I don't think so. That being said, then what are you going to spend most of your resin on? Because you already have this as well. Right, look. This person already farmed all of their Kazuha's artifacts. Okay, first to answer your question, for character, go for Kazuha. So, you have to go for Kazuha. And because Kazuha not only works with Raiden, he also works with Ayaka. Kazuha, Ayaka are really good together overall. Solid pairing. Kazuha with any form of elemental damage dealer is going to be great. I wouldn't be surprised if Kazuha somehow works with Ayato as well for some reason, right? And getting Ayato, I don't know what he does right now, what kind of synergies he has. I know he's Hydro, so maybe he'll work with Ayaka for thematic reasons, maybe not. Ganyu might work well with Ayato, so Ganyu might be able to be a good support DPS or a straight cryo support for Ayato. I don't know if Ayato likes to play off of Vaporize. Ayato likes to play off of Freeze. Ayato likes to play off of Electro Charged. I don't know. So Ayato, I don't know. At this point, Zhao artifacts, you should like put a break on it and wait. I think Ayato, you really would have to see. The safer bet would 100% be Kazuha, which looks to not be coming next patch, from what I hear. I don't know. Kazuha probably is your next pickup. As to artifact grinding, are you even struggling though with Spiral Abyss? No, you're not struggling with Spiral Abyss at all. I mean, who am I kidding? You have a C3 Raiden. Nobody with a C3 Raiden is struggling with Abyss right now, right? So this is what I would say. Hoard up on more. Let's see if you have anyone I can level up. How many EXP do you have? For example, hoard up more on this stuff. Mora and EXP books they're never gonna go out of style. And the additional ones, let's see if you have any character that you really could. What's your Bennett looking like? I know a lot of people like. I know a lot of people can ignore their supports, and case proven, right? A lot of people ignore their supports, such as Bennett and such. I know you don't really need the stats. Wait a minute. I guess you could farm the emblem domain for Xingqiu. How's your Xiangling looking like? I guess it wouldn't be too bad to farm a bit. Okay, never mind. You have a ton. Look how many how many people are using these stuff. Damn. I see you have a lot, but yeah, you can never have too many, to be honest with you. And Xiangling already has an on piece from this domain. Why not? I guess farm some additional materials for Mora, maybe get to 10 million Mora. Just stock up on that stuff. EXP book, I think 600 is not enough. 600 is like barely enough for 1.5 5-star. Right? Think about it. So probably like get close to, if you don't have any, like this is the same for all free to plays. Like if you don't have anyone you want, these materials will never go to waste. They'll never get power crept. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. There might, Mihoyo might release a new form of like EXP leveling, whatever. But for the foreseeable future, this is the kind of stuff you can burn your resin into, and you know you won't lose out. What you put in is what you get out. All right. So honestly, emblem domain is fine. How is your Ayaka? Ayaka can use a little more love. Farming this domain can also help with if you want Ayato, but Ayaka could like look for a flower piece to not even have double crit rate damage, right? It's definitely something you can slowly work towards. And this one as well, getting crit rate. This one's pretty good. Probably can't replace that. This one, getting a crit damage with a crit rate in the substats is also good. Overall, if you want to build your account vertically, it's time to start hunting for some good weapon banners. I know, taboo. Oh, wow, weapon banners. Don't talk about that. Bad advice, bad advice. But looking at some of your characters that you've invested into, you even have Constellation 1. Getting her weapon wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but looking for some flexible weapons. Staff of Homa is definitely something you can look into as well. Her weapon, getting Kazuha. To be honest, character-wise, after Kazuha, there really isn't a single character that you would say has amazing synergy with what you're currently invested into, right? Look at this. At the end of the day, Kazuha is going to help both of these characters, which are staples in current endgame right now, right? And then Hu Tao with your Xingqiu with the Zhongli, Hu Tao is fine. If you really want Hu Tao to have like a top tier team, getting Albedo with Hu Tao is going to be great, because a lot of people nowadays run Hu Tao, Xingqiu, Albedo, Zhongli. But no, if you get Albedo, you're kind of playing right into MiHoYo's hand, because MiHoYo's making because the key in this team without a dedicated healer is that Hu Tao is a self healer. And she's on the field most of the time. And when she's not on the field, Xingqiu and Albedo stay on the field very short periods. And Zhongli's Jade Shield keeps the entire party safe from random damage. But with corrosion, with anti-shield mechanics, this team will soon start to face more and more problems. So I wouldn't really suggest people go into this team at this point in time, because anti-shield mechanics will just be more and more prevalent. It's going to be more and more difficult to run like geocentric teams that relies on shielding to mitigate damage. And of course, Xingqiu's elemental skills mitigate damage too. Really good tool there. And of course, Hu Tao has self-sustained. Really good for survival. However, it's just going to make playing this team, which used to be very brain dead, very free for people. Nowadays, you gotta put a little more thought behind it, right? Like, especially if you use this team to go fight the Golden Wolf Lord, good luck. You better be playing it damn near perfectly, or else you might get clapped. So overall, I think it's a solid account, right? That's gonna conclude this account review. To be honest with you, I can't really say if there's anything you need to change for characters, but as for the future, like you saw in today's demonstration, Kazuha provide a lot of value, but then again, you have Sucrose, but Kazuha just functioned a little more differently in the Abyss, especially with rooms that have a couple scattered mobs. He does a great job pulling them all together in replacement of Venti's burst skill in the current scope of things. And you don't need to worried about his investment being just like, oh, just for these couple tiny issues. No, overall, he covers a wide range of problems in the game and also amplifies existing characters' damage a lot more. So hopefully you guys can also get some value out of this as well. And it's great to see somebody's account who's been playing since day one, right? So thank you for sharing. So for Kazuha, you don't know if you can get him. I don't think he's coming next patch. I think he's coming patch after next patch. Then again, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna be coming the patch after next patch. Maybe he's coming in 2.7. No, I mean 2.8. How often do you do account reviews? I do account reviews every stream, but I only do account reviews per request through channel members. So channel members are able to DM me, and I do account reviews for them. Regular viewers also get account reviews around once a month, because I only stream twice a week for 2 hours at a time, right? So every 8 streams, I have one stream that I dedicate to regular viewers. and I go hop on their account through their UIDs usually, or I go through Discord account review. I have a Discord channel. I mean, go through my Discord and go through the account review applications. So that's gonna be that. Stream lasted for quite a while today. I had fun. That Raiden situation is really kind of yikes. I'm gonna have to go back, sift through all the recordings and stuff, and see what's going on there. All right. So I'm gonna be heading out. I need to go grab a couple bites to eat, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Hopefully, tomorrow's video is going to be the Raiden showcase, not C0 anymore, I guess, the C1 to C2 Raiden to C3. So if you guys are curious as to the difference between C2 and C3, which you guys can figure out just mathematically, but if you guys want to see it on screen, tune in tomorrow or the day after. All right. So until next time, urge y'all to stay safe and peace. All right. Bye. Take care, people. Take care.